Hey guys, happy Monday. So, since we had a couple fun episodes, we're going to go semi serious today. Not too serious, but we're going to have a mental health part two. What last time was kind of like motherhood mental health. This is just like mental health in the broad scope. And I really wanted to talk about because I follow a bunch of like, I hate calling them influencer because I just hate that term, but like fitness influencers on Instagram, like these people that lost a bunch of weight either through diet and exercise or bariatric surgery or whatever. Um, and I've been seeing a lot of hate lately for people who get like tummy tucks. And I know you and I have talked about it, how we both kind of want the mommy makeover to get rid of the C-section shelf, or the baby shelf, the after baby shelf. And do you think there's a correlation between like plastic surgery and mental health? Like, will it help your mental health?
So I kind of feel like this. I feel like it can increase your confidence, therefore increasing, like your less depression, the way you feel about yourself. If you're feeling bad, like, man, I just feel so bad all the time. But I feel like this could go two ways because I feel like the process itself, like the recovery phase, may be hard on you mentally. We have kids, we have responsibilities. Um, if you have any issues during it, that can cause more setbacks. Okay. But, and you know what? Let me tell you, I got to tell you a story. I worked at an office, and she had breast augmentation, and it ended up actually being worse on her mental health because it was messed up, and she had to go back like several times for them to try to fix it. So my point is, I'm getting somewhere, that could be one of those situations where that could probably go the opposite way. Like, I'm hoping mine will go, you know, uplift this, but then I don't know. Like, so I do have those concerns for sure.
Do a lot of research on your surgeon, look at the Yelp reviews. I did have a girl, one of those influencers, had to go back for a repeat tummy tuck because he messed hers up. And it's like she still had like a shelf, and then he tried to blame it on her and say she gained weight.
Oh,
And she was like, yeah, no.
yeah.
So she had to have a new one done by a new surgeon. And like he even messed up like her ab muscles or something when he was in there. So the guy had to like do a complete redo and like fix everything.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
But
see, I don't know. That concerns me.
definitely do your research on your surgeon and look up the reviews, see other people that he's done. Like go down the rabbit hole for a little bit to make sure you're getting a legit person.
Actually, I mean, for real, for sure. But like,
and I
I
do
just don't
feel like
know.
there's a flip side to it where have you seen those people that get like where it's almost a form of body dysmorphia and they get like addicted to it? Where they're
Yeah.
like end up looking like the guy from Saw at the end, like their face is just and then you
Yeah.
see the
Well,
old pictures of them and you're like, oof. And it's like I don't mean disrespectfully, but sometimes you're just like, dude, like
yeah. Yeah. And I have my concerns. Like, I was all about it. So like before I found out I was pregnant with the twins, my deal was like, yes, I'm gonna get a mommy makeover. I had 4 singletons before that. And it wasn't bad, like it wasn't anything that I couldn't have like tried, like that I couldn't have, what do you want to say? Diet, exercise would have fixed. But I was mostly wanting up here. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna try to fake a front. And so then I had the twins, and I breastfed all of my kids. So I had the twins, and then I had the C-section, the only C-section. So yeah, I have this struggle. Like, I didn't understand it before when women have had the C-sections and they talked about it. And now that I've had the C-section, I'm like, yeah. And now I have diastasis recti too. But I guess my issue is like, I want to get the diastasis recti repaired. I do, but I don't. That would be, if I do get a surgery at all, I wouldn't even worry about the other stuff now. It would mostly just be for that. But I mean, I went from a 4-finger gap. I'm now down to like 2.5. just by doing what I'm trying to do. But I mean, I guess if I did, I would do that. But my fear is the risk involved. Like, I think what always kept me from not doing it was if something were to go wrong, my children would no longer have a mother, or a mother who wasn't able to do the things that she was able to do before. This is worst case scenario. Okay. But still,
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened. Right. So we have to be real about it. But like, I don't know how I would react, how my body, I don't know, especially with having the history of like the stroke. I'm just like, I guess I'll just keep things how they are and just keep trying to work on it.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes into your own physical health and well-being too. But
Yeah.
I mean, I want to get it done. The only thing I want done is the tummy tuck, just to get rid of that excess skin. Because for me, like, once I lose the weight too, it's just literally just going to be skin. I have a lot of extra skin from the twins. Like, they stretched me to the point of no more stretch. Okay.
We'll have to show pictures. Like, I want to see some pictures of what you look like when you were pregnant with the twins.
Oh my God. I was a whale.
I want to see this.
It was all belly though. It was just like, it was so big. I couldn't even, I had to like angle to get into my grandma's shower. Like, I couldn't even get in like sideways. Like, I had to.
So wait, how big were they when they were born again?
They were each 6 pounds.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. That's really good.
They were born at 37 weeks. So they were good. They were good size. It was like all baby. Like, after I had them, within a week of having them, I was 5 or 10 pounds lighter than my pre-pregnancy weight. Like, it was all big.
That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it could definitely benefit, but I don't know.
And that's sure it's more of a thing for me of just feeling good about myself, because then it trickles down into, like, when we were talking about the sex after baby episode. When you're not feeling sexy and you're not feeling confident, that trickles down into, your life with your significant other, doing videos like me and you were talking the other day, and I still haven't done the reel. I'm sorry, I'm working on it. I keep forgetting. And we were talking about the reel, and I was like, well, like, I'm still, that confidence after having baby is a totally different thing. And just to get rid of that excess skin would probably, not probably.
You think that would help?
It would just make me feel so much better, because
that would help you get your sexy back.
It would. It's just an insecurity of mine. The type of clothes that I usually like to wear and stuff, I can't wear because of the way that looks right now.
Yeah, you just really okay.
So it's like I don't dress right now the way I usually would dress because I don't like the way it looks. So I just don't feel like myself, I guess.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. What was I thinking of? I had to laugh a little bit though, because that episode. If you guys have not watched that, you need to. But
a friend of mine messaged me, and she was like, because she's engaged, she's going to be getting married, I think at the end of this year, and she was like, "You just made me so terrified." I'm like, it's not everyone has those issues. I was like,
no, that wasn't the goal.
We were just being real about the stuff that can happen, but that's not everyone's scenario. Like, that's why I said a lot during that episode, like, maybe it's just me. But like, it doesn't happen for everyone, like, but these are issues that you can run into, and then you gotta communicate.
But we're not alone. We're not alone. Look at how many women, moms on our group that post about that every day in and day out. They're asking a question about sex after babies, and or sex initially after twins, or the sex drive in general, or I mean, let's keep it real.
A lot of people with their husbands, leaving and stuff when issues with that comes, which is I'm gonna say it, a puss move on your part, man, if you leave after that. But did you see that really viral video of that? It was some young dude. He was like 20, 21 tops. He was really young, but he was on some podcast and he was talking about, he was like, well, if my girl lets herself go after baby, like I'm out. He's like, she's got like a couple weeks tops to recover and then we got to go back to the gym. And I'm like, you got a lot of growing up to do. And I wouldn't try to procreate anytime soon because that is a very unrealistic way to view the woman who's giving birth to your child.
I admit, in my younger days, I had my first one young. Okay, I'll admit I bounced back quick. I admit that. But like as I got older, I want to say, man, it might have even been the fourth one. As I got older, I mean, I still kind of bounced back, but I wasn't quick to do it. Like, and if you're breastfeeding, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how they do it. Like, I didn't feel sexy with milk always coming out of my breast. I didn't feel sexy with milk spots and like leaking and like,
God forbid you forgot to put that pad on and then your entire shirt's soaked.
Yeah, like my boobs hurt. I had a baby. With the twins. The twins were the longest ones that I nursed, but my son was literally on here like every hour, all the time. And even if he wasn't really nursing, he just had to be close to me. Like there was no room for you, homeboy. I'm sorry. Like I'm talking about the baby daddy. I didn't even talk about my son. There's always room for him, but baby daddy, there was no room for you. No room for you. So,
and that's like it's hard to feel sexy when you're doing that stuff because your boobs they're gigantic, they're discolored, there's stuff coming out of them. And then like when you are breastfeeding, you got the stuff that comes along with that, like the leakage, the you can get the clots and stuff in there and the mastitis and just all this stuff. And you're just like, yo, don't touch me. Listen, and then like you were talking about the paranoia of getting pregnant again, you're extremely fertile when you first have a baby. So it's like,
there's like, that.
Don't touch me.
And once you have one set of twins, like you're more susceptible to have another set of twins. And I was just like, and for you, that might not have been that bad. But for me, I was like, that's 8.
No, I would pee my pants if they said another set of twins. I mean, I think I'm good with the 2. I lost my mind during those 2.
Well, speaking of mental health, but no, and like that pregnancy for the twins was horrible. Like mentally, it was draining, and it was just physically hard. And I think we talked about that. We actually share a lot of the same pregnancy story. I think we talked about that the last time, but or what was it, the twin episode?
The twin mom, yeah.
But it was interesting because I had no idea. And it's that was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't alone feeling like that. And I don't think I joined any twin mom groups for a long time. And I think they were already born before I did that. I can't remember.
But I'm so happy that I joined that group because I joined it during my pregnancy. And it was like I said, it was really helpful when it came to the repeat miscarriages and all this stuff that I was afraid of.
Yeah.
And seeing other people's stories and stuff that even if they were born early and stuff, like a lot of the times they end up okay. But it was like one fear after another. It was like, okay, let me get to the point of like where they're viable. Okay, once I got to that point, it was like, okay, let me get to this step. Let me get to this step. Okay, if we get to 36 weeks, they won't need any NICU time. Like it was like I just felt like I was always just looking for a milestone.
Yeah,
that they would be okay. And then I was worried about like what was it? Twin to twin transfusions, TTTS. I was worried about like one twin disappearing or something being wrong with them.
Yeah.
It was just like,
or what was it? Fetal growth restriction and like all types of stuff. Talk about mental health right there. That's a lot.
That was on my brain all the time. Like once you got to viable, then I was thinking about all the stuff that could possibly go wrong with them. Like now that they're viable and I'm starting to get attached, now you're like, okay, something's gonna happen. Like I said, it was like constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I've seen other people who've had miscarriages talk about that, where you're like waiting for something to go wrong. Yeah. Which is hard on your mental health because you're not able to enjoy the pregnancy in the way other people would. And then on top of it, 4 months into my pregnancy, COVID hit and the lockdowns. So I didn't get to have a baby shower. I didn't get to have the gender reveal. I didn't get to do any of the fun shit. Marcus stopped being able to come into any of the ultrasounds with me. I had to go to all the appointments by myself.
Uh,
He would just wait in the car. He would come with me because we had seen all these stories on the twin group of these people
yeah,
going into like doctor's appointments and then having to give birth. So he came to every doctor's appointment and sat in the car just in case.
yeah.
And we had
Oh,
we had our bags packed like months in advance just in case something happened.
mm,
And that just
that's what.
like it I felt like I didn't get to, like, though I'm so happy that they came perfectly healthy and I lasted the whole pregnancy with them, but there is sometimes where I get sad that I didn't get to truly experience pregnancy in the way that like most people do,
Hmm.
because the world was going through such a shitstorm at the time. And I'm like, I couldn't do anything. We had to cancel the baby shower. I was really excited for a twin gender reveal. I thought that would be fun.
Yeah,
Nothing. Couldn't do shit.
we had one planned. Now we were before the C word, but we had one planned, and then we just didn't do it. And I never did one before, so I don't know. I regret it, but not. I mean, we had it all planned out and was gonna do it, and then something happened, and I don't know. I didn't. We didn't have like during that time. You know, the twins were born in 2018. We did have a baby shower, um, so that we did do, but it wasn't one of those still like, you know, you see on Instagram or whatever all the time, all these exciting things, you know, everybody's all
Yeah.
excited. I didn't have that either, but I didn't have that for any of my pregnancies, unfortunately. I mean, I had baby showers and, you know, things like that. But as far as like being overly joyed all the time, that did not happen,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
We did get really, really lucky though that we have a great group of friends. We have a lot of like friends that are family, and they all went on my Amazon like wish list and bought pretty much all of my baby shower stuff for the boys and just had it mailed to my house.
Nice.
I didn't have to buy diapers, I think, until the boys were like almost a year old.
Yes, that's amazing. We did a diaper party. Well, he did. He did a diaper party. We had the baby shower, diaper party. And I was like, oh, all these diapers. That was the best thing. Like the best.
Yeah, like Marcus's mom bought she bought our stroller,
That's
and
nice.
she got us two diaper pails, like the diaper genies.
Yeah.
And then my mom bought both cribs. She found like really good deals on like OfferUp, so she got them a really good cheap. And then she bought two swings for it. And like tons of friends sent clothes and bibs, and like I seriously have an entire duffel bag full of like burp cloths because we got
Wow.
so many.
But that's awesome though. Like it
But
just takes a
yeah,
lot of stress because like you're already worrying about like,
well,
are the babies okay?
it's during the beginning of the C word, so it was like, remember we were running out of fucking toilet paper and shit. Like there was no
Oh yeah.
thermometers, there was no anything at the store. So
Oh
it was
yeah.
like that helped too, because then it was like one less thing to stress on.
Right.
Like I'm already
Yep.
trying to have to fight an old lady in the fucking parking lot for toilet paper. Like, like, there was literally people at the grocery store by my house selling toilet paper out of their trunk like a scalper.
I don't know if anybody did that around here, but that's
I'm like,
interesting.
really? Well, it's because I lived in California. So
Mm, yeah.
that's just what
Yeah.
it is. But you know what I was thinking about too when I was thinking about this episode? Because I was talking to Marcus, my kid's dad, and we were talking about like, because he went to this conference at our church. It was called like the Man Up Conference. And it
Yeah.
was for men to talk about being men, like what your role and your responsibility is, and to be a protector and a provider and blah, 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 all that stuff. And he was just kind of talking about like how eye-opening it was and how it like it motivates you, but at the same time kind of makes you feel bad about yourself. Because I think there, and this is I know this isn't really the new age way of thinking about stuff, but for people who still believe in the old sense of what a man is supposed to be and a father figure and that, I imagine there's a lot of stress that comes with that, like having to be the protector, the provider. If, you know, if you lose your temper with the kids and you feel like a bad dad, if you're barely making the bills, you don't feel like a good provider. If you're, the mother of your kids has to also get a job because you can't afford it just off your income, you feel like a bad provider. Like there's a lot I would imagine stress wise that comes with that.
Yeah, I feel like if they're in that old timey, like the old ways type of thinking, like the man should be the provider. Um, yes, I can see where that would cause a lot of stress and a lot of burden. I forget what the statistics were that we learned the other day in this class I'm taking. Some of you may have heard of like Bridges to Poverty or something like that, but it's like Getting Ahead is the class. Um, and we do compare like the way, like poverty thinking, middle class thinking, wealth. But like, yeah, when I'm trying to think of the statistic they gave us the other day about the households now that are single parent households and women. But I can see like where the men, especially if they were raised that way, if they were raised that like you're the man, you're the provider, this is your responsibility. I can see where that would be really heavy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And generational, like generations of men that like follow that role. You're not a man unless you're taking care of your family, or you're the breadwinner type deal. There we go. It's the word I
Yeah,
was trying to think.
like if your woman makes more than you, then something to
Yeah.
be ashamed of or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
like
can
he
see where
found it
that would
very
start.
uplifting, but at the same time, like he saw a lot in himself that he feels like he needs to work on,
Yeah.
which can be
Was it?
good and bad. Like motivation to be a better person and get a better job and be a better father. That's never a bad thing. But um it just makes me think, like, was the old way of thinking better? Is the new way of thinking better? I'm kind of in between because it's like I kind of like the new way of thinking, but at the same time, I miss the days where like you could be a stay-at-home mom and stuff like that. Like in today's economy and stuff, like it's rarely possible that you can be a stay-at-home mom unless your man has a really good job.
See, yeah. Wait, was this recently that he went to this?
Yeah, it was like a week ago.
Oh, nice. That's nice. And he felt better? Like it helped?
Yeah, like I said, it made him get very like really really motivated, but also like was kind of an eye opener for him of a lot of stuff that he needs to internally work on.
I think too, the socialization, like we've lacked that for the last couple of years, like having to socialize or being able to socialize and then being able to meet other men, you know? I think that was really good for him. Good for him. Um, as far as the way of thinking goes, I don't know. I'm coming from like the other side. Like, yes, in a way, because I've always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but because of the way my circumstances and things have gone, I always thought this ain't never going to be possible unless I'm married, but now I'm able to do that, with the opportunity that I have at hand. I'm able to be a stay-at-home mom without being married. But I always thought that. I always thought I'm going to have to be married to be a stay-at-home mom, and I'm going to have to, have a spouse. I'm not never going to be able to do this by myself.
So another throwback to the MLM episode, guys, like um network
just
marketing, online businesses can allow you to live out
woo,
your
woo,
stay-at-home mom dreams without the man attached.
amen. So if you don't want the man, but you want to be a stay-at-home mama, this is where it's at, baby. That's where I'm at. I don't want the man. I just want to be a stay-at-home mom. No,
I
just
love
kidding.
men too. They're
Too.
just complete pain in the asses. Ugh.
I mean,
It's like
yeah,
having it's a third child for sure.
my daughter. Oh yes, my daughter posted something the other day. It was so funny. I think something about something about relationships, and you got to find the one, like they're not always perfect. I'm ad-libbing. I can't remember how it went, but somehow they're not perfect, but you have to find that person that you're willing to whatever. Y'all probably all seen one just like it. And
You got
I
to
was like,
find your unperfect, perfect person.
yeah, something like that. And I was like, okay, I'm not a man hater though, you guys, I'm not, but I was like, yeah, that's just not something I'm willing to do.
I
I
love
mean,
men. I love the idea like that. I think that's what I was getting at. I love that old school idea though of what a man should be. Like that is what I'm attracted to, is that old school idea of a man. The man who is a
yes,
provider, a
yeah.
supporter, will protect me. Like I can sit there and watch you bench press at the gym because you're hot as fuck.
See, okay.
But I
I'm
don't
with
want you super muscly. Like super like steroided out is not cute to me.
I'm with you. I like that full version, but you see, this episode's moving in a different direction. You see, though, is the fact that that's not really what you see these days, though. That's my problem. That's my
Yeah.
problem. You know, that's my mental health issue. And I was just like,
I mean,
no,
it all reverts back to mental health though, because you like the men's mental health, like
yeah,
you feel this, there's this contradicting ideas going around now between the old style of men and like the new style where it's just like
yeah.
you can just have whoever you want, and women in our fight for equality have almost turned ourselves into objects sometimes. Not all the time, guys, don't come at me, but like sometimes it comes off that way, you know, like where it's easier for a man to just like hit and quit it than it used to be.
So yeah, like I think I have this ideal in my head of like my grandpa. My grandpa was an amazing man
Yeah, same.
to my grandma, and like that's what I've held on to. That's the kind of love that I want.
And that man don't exist no more. Rarely.
That's my problem. Because I think because they do see me, I'm very independent, okay? And I have worked my way up and I've come a long way, but I think that they see that as, sometimes somebody told me the other day, I was with,
Intimidating.
yes. And he's like, well, you know, that might be intimidating, like push people away. And I'm like, but that's not my problem. That's a you problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sounds like a big you problem, because I'm just like, but that's what I want. My grandpa is the ideal guy. And I saw that one time. I've met that person. I've had that person in my life one time. And other than that, I'm just like, I don't understand what happened to this generation. Like, where did all that, I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't even find,
that's a subject for a different episode, is where this generation went. But
yeah,
as far as
yeah,
mental health, like I think especially for women, that can, it can mess with you, because it's like you like you said, you grow up with these ideals and these things that you want, and the
yeah.
idea of that white picket fence family, and then having to, like in your instance, having to create the white picket fence by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can be rough, you know. Can you hear my kids in the background?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sound like you like
Remind me to edit that out.
sound like you was like
James has this new thing where like his talking is just him yelling. He's like, screw words, we're just gonna
yeah, that's awesome.
but yeah, I guess
Use your voice, baby. Use your voice. Go ahead.
we'll
Tell
get
us.
a little more serious on a different episode. But like I just wanted to throw out these different, like we focused a lot on the motherhood or portion of the mental health last time, and I wanted to bring out these other things, especially plastic surgery, because that has a whole stigma to it. People thinking, and you know, and there is a mental health aspect to it, like I said, where people get almost addicted to it and end up completely botching themselves, which is really sad when you see it, because then you, like I said, you see the old pictures and you're like, oh, they were so pretty, but they didn't think they were pretty. Like, and then
Well,
social media messes that up too, those filters,
yeah.
man.
The filters, not only that, the comparison syndrome, that kind of goes back to when you were showing your pictures on the other
Oh, on the
vehicle.
Patreon episode.
Yeah, like, well, you looked at yourself a different way back then, and now you
Yeah.
see yourself. It's all about perspective, like how you looked at yourself then compared to how you look at yourself now, or like at that old you now, you know. It's that perspective. It's your confidence in yourself, maybe even like that self-love aspect. Where like now you're like, girl, you are beautiful. Like, look at you. But back then you were like, oh, I hate everything about me. You know?
Pretty much, yeah. I did not think I was a cup of tea. But like that comes with mental growth too, and age and understanding and wisdom and all that stuff. You kind of high school is high school and it's always going to be high
They're
school,
hard.
but
Ugh.
um I mean, you think back to that era too, like when we were in high school and middle school and stuff, you had that the area of, you know, really thin women and Paris Hilton, and that was like what you aspired to, but that Paris Hilton's body type is not everyone's body type, rarely. So I guess if we got anything out of the Kardashians, guys, was a more realistic body size in a way until like her ass started to expand.
I mean,
The like when the Kardashians first came out, you were like, okay. And then like they started to get more money and the butt cheeks got bigger. And then you were like, okay, you can slow down now.
we just compare the woman's body. Let's do Marilyn Monroe. Let's just do that. Realistic body image. Like in the 90s growing up, I feel like thin was in. And now it's like thicker is in. Um
Then who
Marilyn
knows what's next?
what?
Said who knows what's gonna be
What's
next?
next? I know. What is it going to be next? I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, because you have all these people out here, not just the Kardashians, but like, the bigger, like, what is it? Nicki Minaj and all.
Lizzo.
Yeah.
But I mean, Lizzo doesn't have any plastic surgery. She's just a bigger girl.
Can we just love the skin we're in? Can we just, what is the word? What is it? Can we just respect the mom bodies? Can we just respect that, please? Like, how about we put maybe that's what should be in our mom bods, our shelf that we have. Well, apron is what we called it in school. They taught us it was our apron. Our moms, like, can we please like can that be the fad? How about that? How about loving the skin that you're in with all of the extra?
Truth.
You
And
know what I'm
that will do a whole world for your mental health, guys. Just loving yourself goes
saying?
a
Yeah.
long way.
Yes, yes. That beautiful body that was created for you, that created other people inside of it
Yes.
multiple times or, at once.
So
Yes.
I did want to say before we go, guys, I wanted to give a little shout out here to our merch. I got the Fit Trends mug.
Yes.
I got the hashtag Stay Gorgeous beanie. It's kind of hard to read on screen here, and it's like backwards. um, and the shipping was really, really quick within like a week. I go through a third party to do the shipping because I can't have all that stuff sitting in this house with these kids. It'll all go on the floor and have Cheeto dust on it. So,
Uh,
but don't forget to check out the merch store, guys. I'll have another this week actually there's going to be another sale. Check out the Instagram for the code and everything on that. It's going to be a St. Patty's Day sale.
yes.
But yeah,
Yes.
guys, thank you for joining us on all these adventures that we go on. And don't forget to check out the Patreon episode. The Patreon episode, we have our first one up on the Patreon right now, and that'll be coming out that'll be coming out monthly. And then obviously our weekly Monday episodes. But the Patreon episode is like a more just like random chit chat between me and Karen, just talking about random shit and bullshitting and talking about whatever comes to mind and having a good time. Whereas these episodes are obviously a more like content based, like we're talking about a topic ish, because we tend to get like really squirrel brained out off everywhere.
Sometimes. Check out the
we try to have an episode content, but sometimes it goes sideways.
Yeah.
But my kids are screaming at me and I have to clean their room today because we have a guest coming tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out the Instagrams, our handles will be below us in the video. And you guys have a great rest of your week with smiles and love and laughter.
Bye.
Stay gorgeous, guys. Mwah.